Well, people, it is February 14th of 2026, and I have 11 a.m. Happy Valentine's Day, ladies. Happy Valentine's Day. And I want to send a special shout out to Miss D. You know who you are. God bless you. Love you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Well, people, today I am going to do a follow-up on the video I did last night. Nancy Guthrie, yeah. This one got a twist to it. You see, I believe the powers are utilizing the Nancy Guthrie missing 84-year-old lady as a way to tell us the current moment. They're drawing from the past, yet they're pointing toward the future. I would have never thought in 1,000 years that they would be that clever, yet crafty at the same time. This trail that they're leaving, this moment that they are producing, it's for the gods. They're setting it up. They're setting the stage. And they're showing you the transition, the birth of the new system. As I show you this, I want you to think about this. This is a birth. Believe it or not, this is a birth. And they're doing it in relation to the lunar goddess, of which I spoke on last night. So we're going to talk about some developments that happened overnight as I was producing that particular video. A few people were detained. They were let go. But the settings that were created, they spoke. And they spoke. Now, I did say last night on February 17th, that appears like the strongest possibility of the date that Nancy Guthrie will be located, because it's the 17, the 1-7. And today is Arizona's birthday. Yeah, they were founded on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And they are the 48th state. If you take 48 and flip it, it's 84. It's people, it's just so much. It's so much. So yeah, let me bring this to you. There's a 217 connection. 217. So please watch the video Nancy Guthrie and the possible lunar goddess connection. I produced it last night. I want to play for you what got the wheels going on in my brain. There was an interview on Fox last night, and this guy said there were 17 Walmarts in the Arizona area, I believe he said. One person put it in the chat, said, hey, Piercy, we counted 18, but yeah, 17, that 1-7. And it hit home with my conscience. Check it out.
Other items of interest that could, point in the direction of a name and a person. Explain how they can do that, how they get all that information.
Yeah, one of the things I did first is I I took a look how many stores there are in the Tucson area. There's 17, but what you do is you narrow it down to 8.
He said it's 17 stores.
Really,
He said 17. Listen again.
yeah, one one of the things I did first is I took a look how many stores there are in the Tucson area. There's 17, but what you do, you narrow it down behaviorally based upon the person.
17 stores. Is that coincidence? Gotta watch the video. Now let's learn about these lunar gods, because you see on February 17th, they're going to have this lunar festival. The goddess. And people, you might not believe that this is what's going on, but it don't discount what they be doing in the dark. The Bible talks about these lower gods, and it's real. They've been practicing lower gods throughout all the major cultures since Adam and Eve. So it's real. And when they manifest what they do, they make it real to you, and you don't even know what's going on. Many people don't even know what's going on. Oh, a tragedy happened. They're sacrificing. They're paying homage. They're doing rituals to these gods. So they had these dates and people out there partying with the festivals, and they think it's just mythology. No, it's real to them, and they act on it. And these gods have a station. They have a station, and they have a ranking. And they demand that when they give you things like land, money, positions, you got to worship and honor them. And many times you have to sacrifice something. This time it's the ultimate sacrifice. The whole country going down.
They say the moon once defied the sun. The goddess Coyolxauhqui rose against her brother, but the sun drew his sword from the heavens and struck, severing her head and casting it into the sky. Since that day, the moon hides in darkness, ashamed. Every full moon, she is reborn for revenge. In the shadows of the mountains, her voice can still be heard, and the Aztecs believed that sound was the heartbeat of the gods. But tell me, is the moon truly just light, or is it a wound that never healed? They say...
This is how their mind works.
Why do so many ancient goddesses wear horns, even those more associated with the moon than with Taurus? Because they weren't just horns, they were also the crescent moon, and they were also a boat, one shape with three meanings. In Egypt, Isis sails a crescent-shaped bark across the stars. The moon goddess Inanna rides the same ark. Athena, goddess of wisdom, teaches the art of shipbuilding. These triple goddesses hold the mystery of generative power across three levels, symbolizing human birth, the moon's monthly rhythm, and the end and rebirth of world ages. That's why so many goddesses are depicted with crescents or horns. The crescent is a womb, a moon, and a lifeboat. The goddess's horns are the symbol of cosmic rebirth, the moon's rhythm, the womb's power, and the ark that carries us through the flood. It's not decoration.
It's the birth, y'all. It's a new kingdom. It's a new world order. And it appears to me on the 17th, when they start this lunar goddess mess, that's when Nancy Guthrie could appear. I'm almost positive. This is how they roll, man. This is the dark side. It's a birth. So they have to do rituals and sacrifices to honor this historical events that they've been doing for centuries. It's real to them. And they're making it real to us. But this time, the birth is their golden child, the Antichrist and his system. That's why when I did these videos and I looked at that guy who he emailed TMZ, this is so deep. He said, I want $67,000 to do what? To reveal who the person is who kidnapped Nancy. I took $67,000 and divided it by 212, because that day was Abraham Lincoln's birthday, 212. And it gave me 316. That's John 3:16 sacrifice. Then another email, he went to TMZ. He asked for $56,000. I took $56,000 divided by 84, which is her birthday. It gave me 666. That's the new system, the B system. Then he asked for $100,000. I took $100,000 divided by 365 days in a year. It gave me 274. That's the Sun God Soul Invictus. At some point, we got to wake up and realize the Bible says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Hallelujah. It's principalities out here, baby. It's principalities. We got to get right, stay right, get ready for the flight. God called me to a special calling to break this thing down. Symbolism of a human birth. That's what this thing's about.
The moon's monthly rhythm, and the end and rebirth of world ages. That's why so many goddesses are depicted with crescents or horns. The crescent is a womb, a moon, and a lifeboat. The goddess's horns are the symbol of cosmic rebirth, the moon's rhythm, the womb's power, and the ark that carries us through the flood. It's not.
Isn't that something? How they getting down? This is what they believe.
Ancient Greek astrologers primarily associated the moon with their goddess Selene. Ancient Greek astrologers primarily associated the moon with their goddess Selene. She was also sometimes called Phoebe or Mene, which is actually where the English words moon, month, menses, and menstruation are derived from. The cycle of the moon is often correlated to the menstrual cycle in women, and so the moon has always had a very strong connection with fertility and that power to create life. Two other goddesses are sometimes associated with the moon as well. Artemis, also known by her Latin name Diana, was a goddess of nature, and she was very protective of the animals in her woodlands. The moon is not defenseless. Artemis is an expert archer, and she fought in the Trojan War defending her brother's patron city. The third moon goddess, Hecate, was a sorceress or a witch. She ruled things like magic and sacred knowledge of herbalism and herbal medicine.
It's real, people. It's real. Get a little education. Now, let's go to this one here, and then we'll close out.
Do witches go out into the woods and work? Do witches go out into the woods and worship the moon? This is something that comes up in, really, that really happens?
That's happened, especially during Halloween. There is like a certain connection with the moon. There is certain connection with stars, with the blue moon, with the red moon, with all of those things that they believe that it opens up in the spiritual realm. So something important to understand is that there are principles for the spiritual realm. As I was saying, with the blood, with the sacrifices, it might look like, oh, this is ancient, this is weird coming from a book, but this is a spiritual principles, and this happens, and this is happening today. This is the Satanists, they are doing it because they understand that there is something. So they go out, they do rituals when there's full moon. They do rituals when there's like, not even rituals, just go outside and maybe like dancing around because they believe. And this is why I believe as Christians, we need to step into the power and the fullness that the Lord is giving us.
Hallelujah. She say they real. Listen, the Satanists believe this stuff, so they act on it. They praise and serve their master. Come on, man.
And this is happening today. This is the Satanists, they are doing it because they understand that there is something. So they go out, they do rituals when there's full moon. They do rituals when there's like, not even rituals, just go outside and maybe like dancing around because they believe. And this is why I believe as Christians, we need to step into the power and the fullness that the Lord is giving us.
It's deep. Now that I said that, let me show you what's going on. The meaning of the lotus flower. Kamala Harris is coming back. Kamala, in the beliefs of Egyptians, Kamala means lotus flower. Out of the lotus flower, she births the sun god Ra. It's symbology, but it's going to happen before our eyes. The birth.
It's commonly accepted that the lotus is the symbol of resurrection and rebirth, of a new life. of eternal lives. They are aquatic plants. Lotuses send out their roots deep into the dark, fertile mud below the waterline. Then their stem and bud reach upward toward the surface until it breaks forth into the daylight. They just kind of happily float on the water, the sun, following its light throughout the course of the day. Then it closes its bud at night and sinks back down beneath the water to do it all over again the next day, like Ra emerging from the cosmic ocean. And you may...
Like Ra, the sun god, merging from the cosmic ocean. And I'm going to show you all these connections because they was out there at night last night. The moon is out at night. Look, it's so deep. Last night they was out doing raids. Swat was doing raids at night. They move at night because their deeds are evil. It's deep.
Remember from our first lessons that Ra is often shown actually coming forth from the opening petals of a lotus blossom. Lotuses are in between. They hover between the air and the water. So with their...
Now look at that picture. There's your sun god. There's your sun god. Right there, Ra. And that's your lotus flower. Kamala means lotus flower. She's going to birth the new Antichrist and the system. Do you understand? She'll only be around a little while, but she's coming. Y'all might not believe this, but they ain't playing with us, okay? They ain't playing with us. Now, Swat was out last night. It was out last night. Listen, tie it all together now.
Get to in all of them. Let me start with really the breaking news though. There was a SWAT raid, which I was actually at, which I'll get into the details of in a second. But we know that it is connected to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. They went into a neighborhood about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson, and they detained a man and a woman from the house, and they also detained a man from a traffic stop at a Culver'S restaurant very close to that house, and I'm told that it's all connected. I'm told that it could be a mother and son who were detained in the house and maybe the brother at the traffic stop, but they're all connected. And the reason I know this is because I'm told by sources that they were waiting to move on the house until the traffic stop happened. And that this is all connected back to the Nancy Guthrie investigation, whether these are just people that they are looking into, whether one of them is someone that they're specifically looking to and they just detained them.
So they had, now, when some research I did said it was 4 people that they detained. Now look at this here, I'm gonna show you some pictures. They, one was like a Range Rover in front of Culver'S restaurant. I'm gonna show you what that means, Culver'S historically. It's gonna blow your mind.
More questions before we wrapped here. So we touched on this a little bit, but a Range Rover was towed away from a Culver'S parking lot there just last night after it was involved in a traffic stop during the law enforcement operation in connection to this investigation.
I want you to look at it and look in it. Look at it and look in it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an X. X is the 24th letter of the alphabet, which means I'm taking you out. You're unalived. We're in the Roman period now. We're going to go into the Egyptian period. So they're speaking in Roman numerals. X, I'm taking you out. You see that? They put it right in your face. X. And probably an upside down V. But anyway, it's an X on the Range Rover. That ain't coincidence, baby. They speaking.
What information do we have about that as I'm sharing just some of the photos that we're getting in here for our viewers?
Sure. At that Culver'S fast food restaurant, we did have the detainment of an individual as it relates to that Range Rover. There was a series of tarps that had been brought up by FBI agents as they looked to extract information from that, or I should say, discovery from that.
All right, so we saw the Range Rover. Break the whole thing down.
Jeopardize the investigation here, but how careful do law enforcement agencies need to be at this stage to avoid jeopardizing a potential prosecution?
Absolutely, excellent question. That's exactly right. We've got to be careful that we do everything by the book, that we treat all of these people who are detained properly with probable cause before arrest. We've got to make sure that we're getting all of our evidence collected. We've got to make sure that we're not screwing it up and getting it our own way. And that can happen. And especially an investigation of this type, with this notoriety, with it being 24/7 on the news every day, we're talking about it. We've got to be extra careful. We need to do.
So again, look at that picture. That's the X. Many of you all who've been around with me for a while, you know, I point out, look at that. That's the X. And then the police vehicle says what? It says 1073. 1073. And there's your Culver'S. Culver'S. Why Culver'S? Why Culver'S? I'm going to show you. 1073 is on the police car. The 1073 is a 173. The 1073 is a 173. The 173rd day of the year is 622. What happened on 622 of last year, 2025? Operation Midnight Hammer. We're going to war. I told you they're utilizing this situation. Let me show you. They put it in iPad Go 2. See how his fingers are? Remember, we got a military guy that did the same thing. Watch. We're going to make this real simple. Helifont, iPad Go 2, George Bush, look at his fingers. I said, look at his fingers. Look at his fingers. Watch. You see him? You see him? Okay. Remember this? June 21st of 2025, Situation Room. They're in the Situation Room. You know what that is? Mr. Raising Cane. They made the decision to go after Iran. Okay, look at his hands. Look at George Bush. June 24, 2012, the animated short film, iPad Go 2. That's when it came out. June 24th, 2012. That's George Bush. Look, June 24th, 2012. June 21st, 2025, we went after Iran. We bombed them. The difference is 47-45. 12 years ago, 362 days ago, that's when they came out with this George Bush iPad Go 2. You tell me they don't do future past, baby? Come on, man. Look at the map. 12 years, 362 days, 47-45. Who's 47-45? Trump. On 6/22, we bombed him. On 6/21, we had the meeting. Come on, man. Come on. Now, let's put it all together. Culver'S. Culver'S. Not to pick on Culver'S, but the name Culver'S come out to 44. Barack Obama was the 44th president. Is that coincidence? Now look, here's your 6/22. Last year we bombed Iran, remember? America. And here's yesterday. They stopped that Range Rover in the Culver'S parking lot. The difference is 722. What is 722? Abraham Lincoln died at 7:22 a.m. Come on, man, they speaking. They do these stories to speak. And I got people criticizing me. Preach the gospel. What's wrong with you? You don't think this is a way to get people right so they can get right with the Lord? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Majority of the time I do talk about salvation. You don't like what I'm doing? Get your own channel, because this is discovery here. Information, revelation, and the goal then is salvation. You ain't been around long enough to critique me, because if you were, you would have made them kind of crazy statements. Now, did you know? See, because I live in Chicago, I kind of know the Midwest a little bit. There is a military academy called Culver'S. Did you know that? Culver'S Military Academy in Indiana. See that? Culver'S. They're not going to tell you that on the ABC, NBC, CBS. It was established 1894. Culver'S restaurant is separate. But Culver'S here, Culver'S Military, it started September 24th. Let's look at it. September 24th, 2027, their birthday next year, subtracted from last night, gives you 84 weeks. What's Nancy's age? She's 84. Come on, man. It's deep. Nancy Guthrie, her age, the lady who's missing, her birthday is January 27th. Take January 27th, her literal birthday of 1942, subtracted from Culver'S, the military academy in Indiana. The difference is 4744. Who's the 47th president? Trump. Who's the 44th president? Obama. Come on, man. You gonna tell me I'm gonna stop what I'm doing? And God gave me this gift when I was 17? We almost at the finish line. Wake up. You better wake up. Swat is the one that did the raids last night. SWAT. SWAT was established initially in Philadelphia. SWAT and Philadelphia is, the state of Philadelphia is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania became part of the United States on 12/12. Look at that, 12/12, Philadelphia. Take 12/12, anniversary of Philadelphia last year versus yesterday. SWAT had the raid. The difference is 64. Barack Obama is 64 years old. And December 12th again, the anniversary of the state of Philadelphia is right there, 2025. Subtracted from January 27, 2026. That's Nancy's birthday. The difference is 47. Who's the 47th president? Trump. I'm not stopping. We're going to give people the right information. If you think this is a coincidence, no way in the world. Nancy Guthrie's birthday, literally subtracted from the academy called Culver'S, gives you 4744. Excuse my French, but that's a hell of a decode. Cherish the gift. I know a lot of y'all do. We just got some people out there. They got to catch up. God bless you. Thank you.